stuff that's not old and obscure. And
Have you looked online? I know that I'm fascinated by YouTube. This also will be posted on YouTube. And I'm amazed by gamers' presence on YouTube. And you have, of course, the angry Nintendo nerd and these people who, again, are kind of wagging the finger at their favorite console. And it's just, I find a lot of negativity. And one thing that amazes me is how they present themselves to the world, and it usually involves a shooting game and yelling sometimes at their parents and just being generally unreasonable. Do you think that, you know, anyway, what do you think of the idea of these things really kind of influencing the way people, not just gamers or the habitual users, but the way people think?
I don't know if it affects the way they think so much.
Okay.
You know, the way they think or the way they act. You know, I figure, you know, the way I always look at it is those people, if it wasn't that, they'd be watching football and getting so riled up they go to a bar and get drunk and get into a fight.
Sure.
Over the football game.
Sure.
If it wasn't that, they'd be, you know, they have those tendencies anyway. Something's going to bring it out.
Yeah.
What that something is.
Yeah.
You know, it might be getting an argument over what's better, a Ford or a Chevy with a guy. It might be, you know, if it wasn't games, it'd just be something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy, you know, that gets them all fired up and angry about it. And
I'm all there for that.
yeah. It just, games is just another outlet for them to be ignorant.
Yeah. I think there's a. I did my. I told you I'm a sociology guy. I did my practicum project, my thesis essentially, on video gaming, the sociology of video gaming. And I argued that there are three main schools of sociological thought, one being conflict, which is Marx, basically that you have two forces fighting one another, and then something comes to something basically splooges out the end. And it's something hopefully good for everybody. And then you have functionalists, which say that everything is as it should be, otherwise it'd be different. You know, there's that. And then you have what they call symbolic interactionism, which would basically argue that all of these are artifacts of mankind and therefore represent something well beyond games themselves, which I think is also credible, though I don't think mutually exclusive any of these.
Yeah, they're all they all have valid points.
Right,
but.
Absolutely. I know that in the functionalist category of my paper, I discussed the violent tendencies that these games, not tendencies for the people who play them, but the violence that comes packaged in all these. You know, I would say like, I don't know, at least 50% of the games in here involve violence of some kind.
Yeah. Easily.
Easily. I could say the same thing for literature and movies and film. But I know that these have come under fire for their interactivity. Yeah. Do you think that the interactivity really separates these from anything else in particular?
No. Same as any other media.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
It's same as any other media. You know, if you know, the whole horror movie genre is so huge right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
To the point of, what do they call it? Murder porn?
Yeah, torture porn.
Torture porn. Yeah, right.
I mean, that's just... It's just... You know, I'm waiting for the game.
Really? You think games are going there? Where do you think games are going?
Somebody eventually is going to have the balls to do it.
Rockstar, you know it.
Yeah. Well, then it'll be a question of who's got the balls to allow them to publish it on the console.
Right.
That's they want to do it now.
Yeah.
It's just a question of which one of the consoles is going to have the balls to say, okay, do whatever the hell you want.
Are we, do you think, headed down the slippery slope? Because I remember in like '94, you know, a lot of these I love printed media, I love my magazines, and I love the ads. And I remember in '94, like, well, even before that, like '92, Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah. A lot of the ads for Mortal Kombat 2 couldn't show blood because you can't show blood in a printed ad. Yeah. You just can't. That has clearly changed.
Yeah, that's completely out.
Yeah, that's totally changed.
A big part of that is just the aging of the media itself and the people playing it.
The demographic.
It's more appropriate now.
Yeah. Do you think, I thought about this particularly with the Manhunt 2 situation, and how it got chopped up and edited for the American release, and it finally made it over in the UK. The fact is, they could probably in 3 years release an unedited version of that game and sell quite well. Yeah. But even then, when we look back, you know, in 3 years, when we look back at what was a big deal now, it won't be.
Yeah, it'll be quaint.
Right, exactly. It'll be cute. Yeah. Does this lead to virtual reality where we kind of wear headsets and, you know, stalk and slaughter people? Or I mean,
I don't. You know, that's still so far away that.
Yeah.
And a pipe dream, you know.
Where do you think
anybody that's played Pterodactyl Nightmare knows that that's just not
Pterodactyl? What is that? I don't know what that is.
Bad VR game from the 90s.
Is it 3DO? It's 3DO. Isn't it?
No, it was like an arcade setup with a helmet and a gun and looking around, and yeah, it was.
That's kind of cool.
Pretty awful.
Yeah. That's all
Lots
right.
of big, flat, unshaded polygons everywhere.
Awesome.
It was pretty terrible.
Yeah,
so.
not quite Lawnmower Man at that point.
No.
Yeah. Do you think where are games going? And in turn, gamers, what are we doing?
Well, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of change. Nintendo's got a lot of chance to change things around.
Yeah.
Because they've actually got a different interface.
Big time, yeah.
They haven't showed that to me yet.
Yeah.
But it's got the potential,
Yeah.
It's got the potential to be there.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a really good job of reaching those new markets.
Mm-hmm.
And they got grandparents playing.
Yeah, works.
They said they were going to do it. Everybody kind of went, yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And
right. Right.
They did it, so
yeah.
You can't argue the fact with them.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, I do see games kind of reaching a stalemate, but at the same time, I see old genres being renewed.
Yeah.
Shooters are big again.
Yeah, now what kind of shooters are you talking about?
Like arcade shooters.
Arcade shooters,
they're big again.
Yeah, they kind of are.
There's a reason why 2-year-old Dreamcast games are selling for double retail.
Yes.
That's people are finding out about this stuff and playing games that are not meant to be a simulation of anything.
More video game.
It's a game.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a game. It's not meant to simulate anything. It's not meant to be real or realistic.
Right.
It's meant to be a game.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot more of that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that's, you're still going to see your, shooting World War II military, modern military. Mm-hmm. That's going to have its big audience.
Sure.
But I think the audience for just games.
Yeah.
Games that are meant to be games, not meant to simulate anything, is growing.
Which says a lot about the audience because our technology is making us more able to produce these simulations. Yeah.
But they're going back and playing games that are rooted in 20-year-old style.
Right. And are very video game in nature.
Yeah.
And I, for one, particularly as I was playing a 360 the other day, and it was a shooting game, and I have a Wii, and I play the Wii. My latest, by the way, just a shout out to this. There's a compilation published by Crave, and it's the Williams Pinball Pack. Totally worth it. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been playing that quite a bit, and then I picked up one of the shooter games, and I felt like an old man, according to the USA Today old man style, because I looked at the number of buttons that I was supposed to be pushing at once, and I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think you're on it. I think you're right. The interface is facilitating more people to get in, and the more people you want to reach, the simpler it has to be, which means it actually comes from the more realistic and to,
just games.
Yeah, what games started out as.
Yep. And that's, I think that's going to be there's going to be a lot more of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to force it's going to force them to be more innovative.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to just take a game and, okay, we're going to put a big guy, and he's going to have muscles.
Right.
And camouflage, and he's going to shoot bad guys. Insert bad guy, Nazi, robot,
right,
alien, whatever bad guy you want.
Right.
And I think they're going to have to get away, they're going to start getting away from that and start doing more innovative, unusual, new ideas. And
okay.
Other stuff will still be there.
Yeah.
Because, as long as people continue to buy it, they'll continue to make it. But I figure a lot of those people will move on eventually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of those people that haven't been playing games since the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Eventually they're going to play the 25th first-person shooter World War II game they've played and go,
that year.
Oh, this is just... And they're going to bail.
Yeah.
They won't be there forever, so...